Hello everyone. Today on this lecture we will discuss about what are the National Malaria Control Program. Earlier class we already discussed the life cycle and the pathophysiology of the malaria. Now in our community's point of view we will discuss about the National Malaria Control Programs. So in the year of 1950, after independence, the incidence of malaria is 75 million cases of malaria are found, and out of them 0.8 million cases that were a death was recorded. Okay, so that time the malaria mortality rate and the morbidity rate was increases. So the Bhore committee in the year of 1946 recommended a countrywide comprehensive control measure for the malaria. So this on the basis of this Bhore committee in the year of 1953 this program was launched, that is malaria control program. So if you see the present status in the year of 2000, if you see the status that the malaria cases, there are 1.1 million cases of positive cases of malaria, and out of them the Plasmodium vivax is the commonest, that is the 60 to 75% of the cases are Plasmodium vivax, and the Falciparum, that is the 30 to 45%, and this is the fatal, that make the patient into the fatal conditions, and the malaria is rarely found, and the Falciparum ovale is not found in India. So that after independence from the year of 1950, after the suggestion of the Bhore committee in the year of 1953, National Malaria Control Program was launched, that is called NMCP. So this is the structure. This is the microscopic structure. If you see the vivax, the falciparum, and the malaria and the ovale. These are the four varieties of four species of plasmodium that affect our country. So the objectives of National Malaria Control Program. So let's see to bring down the malaria transmission. The first one, to bring down the transmission. So we have to anyhow that if there is malaria cases is more, and you know already that malaria is spread by the infected vermiculous mosquito. That's why we have a first emphasis to bring down the transmission of the malaria and to hold down the malaria transmission at the low level. So in the state level, where the area is under the influence of the malaria, so in that area to hold down the malaria transmission indefinitely at a low level. So what for this objectives, what strategy or the plan of actions has been taken? So the residual insecticidal spray. So that time the residual insecticidal spray. The insecticidal means it is a killing. It's a chemical that used to kill the insect. So here the insect is a mosquito. So this insecticidal spray was launched, and malaria control team will carry out the survey and to monitor. So in state wise, some of the people, they are considered as a malaria team, as a malaria control team, and they monitor and survey the fever cases. If they found the cases are positive, then they are sent to the institution to take the anti-malarial drugs. Okay, so this is the three mode of actions, or you say strategy, by which we can reduce the malaria cases. So after 5 years, because the control program 53, and again after 5 years there is 58. In 1958, the eradication program was launched, because due to the use of DDT spray, the DDT works very good, because the DDT spray decrease the malaria cases, and the death also decreases. So the DDT dichloro diphenyl trichloroethane spraying result in decrease the rate, and the government of India converted this malaria control program into eradication program. So this strategy was highly successful, and the case reduced to hundred thousands and death was eliminated. That's why the name is given eliminated eradication program. But in the year of 1974, again there is resurgence of the malaria occurs. So what is the meaning of resurgence? So resurgence means rest from sedation. Means once it is already stopped, the death is totally eliminated. But again, in the year of early of 1970, there again the cases will be increases. Okay, because the mosquitoes within these 5 years they develop their resistance towards DDT spray. So, in 1970, resurgence of the malaria occurred. Its meaning is rise to sedations, early setback in the malaria eradication programs with DDT shortage and result of technical or the financial and the operational problem associated with the DDT resistance to malaria, and also the shortage of DDT and the technical and the financial and the operational work of this malaria control team. So that the program again failure of this program will be occur. So again the malaria cases will increases. In the year of 1971, after 70, now it's come 70, 71. So here urban malaria scheme was launched. So why the urban malaria? Because in the control program and eradication program, in both the programs, we give emphasis on the rural population only. There is no focus, no attention toward the urban area. And in 1971, that time industrialization was occurred, many factories, industry was launched. That's why people has to live in the cities and the towns. So there is another rise in malaria cases in 1971. So this program was launched that given emphasis on the urban area. So the eradication program of the urban area was not focused. The urban malaria poses the problem because of the haphazardous expansion of the urban area. Because that in 71 industrializations and the factory and the companies that side people have come from the rural area and become largely work on the urban area, and that populated area is called urban area. It was launched in 131 cities and towns of 19 states of the India. So first time this scheme was launched on cities and the towns because urban area. This is the urban malaria scheme. So cities, 131 cities and then 19 states, towns of the 19 states. The urban area, malaria vector Anopheles stephenancy. In malaria, that was it's a vector-borne disease. So in urban area, this disease or this the mosquito is the Anopheles stephenancy. So this was bred in the store water and the domestic container. So it is easily this mosquito stephenancy that can be easily lays its egg, grow and develop into an adult mosquito because that live in store water and the domestic container. Under the urban malaria schemes, the center provide larvicidal, that is 2% of pyretherium extract. So now one of the another major vertex, that is the larvicidal. So as you know, in the malaria life cycle, the malaria first lays egg and then the egg develop into larva and after pupa then become adult. So in the larvicidal means you kill the mosquito larva in the larva stage. So that's why that is called larvicidal. Larvicidal means killing of the larva. So that's why the one of the chemical that is 2% of pyretherium extract that is used for the urban malaria scheme. In 1976, and malaria cases reduced to 6.1. Again, that by this scheme, the malaria cases again reduced to 6.4 million cases. Then the modified plan of operations was launched in the year of 1977 because as the mosquito are develop resistance towards the insecticide like DDT spray and also the 2% of pyretherium extract. So there may be resurgence of the cases will be occur, and also the mosquito also be developed and due to the resistance capacity of the people. So that's why the again multiply plan of operation will be launched in year of 1977. So what is the objectives? The elimination of the malaria death, reductions of the morbidity that is the number of disease, and the maintenance of the gain achieved so far by reducing the transmission of the malaria. So we not first reduce death rate will be decreases, eliminate, and then the transmission will be stopped and don't spread. The transmission of malaria will be reduced. So that is the main objectives of the 1977 MOP or Modified Plan of Operations. Then what is the strategies? That's the action plan. The early case detection and the prompt treatment. As soon as we diagnose the cases early time, then treatment will be started so that recovery will be very easy. And selective vector control by appropriate insecticidal spray residual area. So the vector, as it is caused by a vector, means a mosquito, anopheles or strychnine. So by knowing the vector, which types of vector is that, then we can control or take the measures to or the spray in the rural area. And the personal prophylaxis measure. Personally, if a person want to away from this type of malaria, so he or she can use the ITMN or the insecticide treated mosquito net. So that was also launched in this program, Modified Plan of Operations, and also the environmental control measures. So bioenvironmental means the area where this breeding mosquitoes they lay their egg because in the water where the stagnant water is there. So in that area, if you put the kombucha fish, that will be what envelopes this eggs or the larva. And here is the picture of ITMN, that is the insecticide treated mosquito net, that was launched in MOP, Modified Plan of Operation, in 1977. Next, in the again 1997, again the malaria cases will be increases. That the incidence of malaria cases increases. So enhanced malaria control program project was launched, and on this enhanced malaria control program was launched with the support of World Bank, because World Bank will be sponsored this program, and this is directly benefiting the 6 crore tribal populations, because urban area is also we given focus to the urban area, we given focus to the rural area, but some of the tribal areas are present. If you see in our country, if you see the map or the geographical position of the India, then you find number of areas are there that were in the plain area. Some of the areas are there that is the tribal area. So in tribal and the hilly area, in there is the due to the rain due to the forest or the rainfall conditions, that's why there is a rising of malaria incidence. So they are directly benefiting to the 6 crore tribal population. So this malaria control program, enhanced malaria, that's given focus to the tribal area, that's about 6 crore tribal populations of the 8 states, covering 100 districts and 19 urban areas. Okay, so what is taken in consideration? The tribal area of 6 crore populations and the 8 states. So 8 states, like those having the malaria incidence is more like northeast area of our country, Odisha, Jharkhand, and Chhattisgarh. So these are the states, and 100 districts and 19 urban areas are given in focus on this project. Next, the selection of the PSC. So as a control program was launched in the primary health centers. So which primary health center will be selected? So where their annual parasitic index API is more than 2 for the last 3 years, having the history of having the successful history of 3 years, AFI or the annual parasite index is 2. So that PSU was selected, and the PF and the Plasmodium falciparum cases are 30% of cases of Plasmodium falciparum. That populated PSC is selected, and 25 population of the tribal must be the people are in the tribal area. That type of PSC was selected, where this the enhanced malaria control project is launched. Next, National Vector Borne Disease Control Program 2002. So this is the logo of NVBD and CP. This is the central nodal agency for the prevention of 6 vector-borne diseases. As like malaria, the other 6 vector-borne diseases like filaria, tuberculosis, and kalajara, Japanese encephalitis. So these are the few vector-borne diseases that also that their incidence also increasing. So MVDC control program was launched in the year of 2002. And again in 2005, intensified malaria control program was established in 2005. Then this NVDVCP program is revised in 2008. So it is called as a revised NVDVCP drugs policy. So here on this on this control program, some of the drugs policy was introduced. So by this the medications and the drugs that will be given to the by calculated amount that will be given to the certain body weight of the people or the child or the adult that will be calculated. And in 2009 the LNIN long lasting insecticidal mosquito net was introduced. In 2010 revised drugs policy again revised because there's a mosquito was developed their resistance within them against the insecticidal and the larvicidal. So this is again revised, that is 2010. And from the 2014 to 15 the newer insecticidal and the larvicidals were introduced. So these are all about the achievement of the malaria. So this is called the milestone of the malaria control program. Thank you. Thank you for this. Uh, Thank you for the watching, and hope you understand from this the malaria control program. Thank you, and please subscribe my channel.